You want to know how to avoid being scammed and broken? Stay tuned. Hello my friends, this is Bobby D coming to you from Talamban, Cebu, Philippines. I'm having an awesome time in the Philippines today. Hope you are as well where you're from. Hey, today I want to talk to you about how to avoid being scammed and broken in the Philippines. How to avoid being scammed and broken in the Philippines. Yeah. Now, when we talk about the Philippines, you understand this is a country where there are numerous types of scams. But the one scam that's more prevalent than anything else is the online and offline dating scams in the Philippines. It's a multi-billion peso industry. Yeah, Filipinos are trained to get your money. Honey. Yeah, no joke, they're trained. It's a business. So I'm going to teach you some things that you should know when you're dating either offline or online with a Filipina in order for you to avoid being scammed and broken. Yeah, they can break your heart. They can break your spirit. They can break your soul. And they can break your bank. So, first thing, whenever you meet a Filipino, understand that they have a mentality that says they're entitled to get your money. Yeah, most Filipinos have an entitlement mentality. In other words, because they feel they're poor or they don't have money, you have a lot of money, they're entitled to go in your pockets and it's okay. So they have no regrets about lying or misleading you. They have no regrets about telling you things that are not true. It's just what they do to get what they want. So, Filipinos are very, very powerful women. Now, I talked to you before on one of my other videos about the charismatic power of a Filipina. Now, Filipinos can use that power for good or they can use that power for evil. Now, the scammers, Filipinos that are scammers, use their charismatic power for evil. Charismatic power is just basically influence. It's something on the inside of them that people are drawn to them. And so some of them use that for good, some of them use it, unfortunately, for bad. In the case of scammers, they use it for bad. You have to take control of the conversation and the situation. Treat it as an interview. You're looking for someone, a prospect, and they're looking for a prospect. You're looking for a prospect for a girlfriend or a long-time relationship or a wife. They're looking for a prospect that they can get money from, basically. So you have to understand that when you speak to a Filipino online or offline, 80% of those Filipinos are scammers. They want your money. Anything they say to you is for the purpose of gaining your trust. That's what they first do. First thing Filipinos do is try to gain your trust. Okay? Now, how do they gain your trust? By telling you things that you want to hear. Most men want to hear they look good. Most men want to hear you are intelligent. Most men want to be. Most men want their ego stroked. And so Filipinas are artists at stroking the ego of a man, especially foreigners. And most Filipino scammers here are trained on what to say and how to say things to foreign men. And the reason they're trained is because it's a big money business. Filipino scammers work 8 to 12 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. And the purpose is to find prospects. And prospects meaning people that they can work with every day, talk to every day, and the ultimate purpose is to gain money out of their pockets. Have them send them money. All right, that's it. So when you understand that, then you're better equipped to deal with the people that you're speaking to. Okay? So now, your goal is to gain control of the situation. Your goal is to gain control of the conversation. Now, how do you do that? First of all, you have to come with a specific agenda of questions that you question them. It's almost like you're a prosecuting attorney. I mean, you're not going to be mean and hateful and all like that, but you're going to question them. Hi, how are you today? And you're going to be nice and cordial. Hi, how are you today? My name is Bob. How are you? Good. I read your profile and tell me something about yourself. And okay. And how old are you? How many kids you have? Where do you live? Do you work? You have to have a list of questions. And the reason why you go down your list is because you want to separate the contenders from the what? Pretenders. Make sense? Okay. So here we go. Question. And when you question them, sometimes you may want to question them again. Ask the same question, but in a different way. That way you can find out if they're lying. Anytime you find out if they're telling you a lie, get rid of them. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Chat later. See you. Let it go. Because one lie leads to another and another. And let me tell you how you can spot a scammer. Most of the scammers they're professional. Some of them are professional scammers, and then they're non-professional scammers. The professional scammers are the ones that are hardest to spot because they won't come out with the money issues immediately. It may take several days because they're trained on when to speak about money. And when they speak about money, they don't directly ask you for money. Here's what they do. They'll say, oh, you know, I'm so tired, and they'll start crying. And you say, what's wrong, honey? I haven't eaten today. I'm hungry. I didn't want to bring this to you, but yeah, money. So that they're doing all of that to get in your pocket, to tug on your heartstrings, and they're doing all that to ultimately have you give them money. Okay. Another thing is not only hunger, but they'll say the baby's sick, mom is sick, papa's sick. Cell phone was stolen, or I don't have enough funds. I really like talking to you, but I don't have enough money to get back on the internet tomorrow or another. All a bunch of crap. Okay, you gotta have an open. You gotta be aware of what's going on. Take control of the situation. Okay, when you understand their psyche and mentality, then you can control the situation and avoid being scammed and broken. Okay? Now, one other thing I want to let you know. Now I talked to you about the professional scammers. The non-professional scammers, they're easy to spot. The first thing they'll say is, can you send me 500 pesos? Stuff like that. They're non-professional. Okay? And you just get rid of those immediately. Okay? Stuff like that. Alright. Now, one other thing about the professional scammer. The one thing you do is called budol. B-U-D-O-L. B-U-D-O-L. Basically, it's hypnosis. Now, I have a BS in psychology and a master's, so I know that it's not just a bunch of bull. It's not just a bunch of junk. It is real. It's called budol. It's hypnosis. It's called, in psychology, it's called conversational hypnosis. Okay? They can actually talk to you and hypnotize you. Yeah. People, I'm serious. There's a gang going around in Manila. It's called the Budol Gang. That's all they do all day long. They hypnotize people and gain funds. So, not only can they do it person to person, they can do it online as well. So, you have to watch out for everything you can. Can you not find a decent person online to conversate with and to eventually have a friendship with? Yes, you can. But you have to be discerning. And you have to be careful. It's about what you're comfortable with allowing that Filipino to do. Okay? It's about protecting your assets. Okay? It's about not allowing them to get into your pockets. First of all, it's also about not allowing them to get into your mind, your heart, your spirit, and in your soul. You have to guard those things from the scammer and from the Philippines. And how do you guard those things? First of all, you just don't tell them your whole business. Only thing you tell them is what the basic details you have in your profile. That's it. And because the reason why you don't tell them your whole life story is because they use those things against you to gain control of your heart and your mind and your spirit and your soul and your pocketbook. Last thing. In order for you to avoid being scammed and broken in the Philippines, you have to take control. It's up to you. If you are to be successful online or offline dating, you have to have a strategy, you have to have a plan, and you have to follow that plan until you find the right person that you feel comfortable for you. Anything a Filipino tells you, always check it out. Okay? Alright guys, that's it for now. This is Bobby D saying take care. God bless. Peace.